does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly?
One of the great lyrics I love that you did, I'm not a businessman, I'm a business, man.
I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman.
What the women said about you.
What women said about me. So nobody's allowed to be mad at me and be scorned and lie on me.
So they're lying on you. That's your explanation. They're lying on you.
Absolutely.
They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly.
New footage has reignited claims that Jay-Z used R. Kelly's downfall to protect his own secrets. Could this shocking betrayal go deeper than anyone imagined?
I have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive.
And then there's Gayle King, Jay-Z's trusted media ally. She painted him as an untouchable mogul while grilling R. Kelly on national TV. But was her infamous interview part of a calculated move to shift the narrative in Jay-Z's favor?
That's stupid! Use your common sense.
Did Jay-Z mastermind the destruction of R. Kelly's career to keep his own skeletons hidden? And how far did Gayle King go to protect her friend?
You had a choice between getting paid $500,000 in cash or lunch with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Which would you choose?
You gotta take the money. What I'm gonna say?
Let's unravel the shocking and deeply suspicious connections between Jay-Z, Gayle King, and R. Kelly. Jaguar Wright recently made bold accusations, suggesting that Jay-Z orchestrated the downfall of R. Kelly.
They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly.
These claims have sparked intense debate and speculation within the music industry. Jaguar, known for her candid commentary, did not mince her words as she delved into the alleged manipulation and exploitation within the music business. During the interview, Jaguar raised crucial questions, probing the timing and motives behind Diddy's current predicament.
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time.
During her candid conversation, Wright drew parallels to the handling of controversial figures in the industry, drawing comparisons to R. Kelly's downfall and hinting at an alleged pattern orchestrated by Jay-Z. And when asked about who might be next in line within this purported series of orchestrated events, Wright pointedly mentioned Sean Diddy Combs, suggesting that Jay-Z was setting him up for a fall.
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
Wright went on to detail a sequence of alleged manipulations by Jay-Z, referencing past associates and collaborators. According to her claims, Jay-Z had lined up figures like Damon Dash and the late Notorious B.I.G, supposedly stealing their life and identity. These accusations bring forth a complex narrative of betrayal and power dynamics within the music industry's upper echelons. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Biggle, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life identity and took his love, Wright stated, painting a picture of calculated actions against key figures in rap history. The most shocking assertion made by Wright was her insinuation that Jay-Z's intentions extended to R. Kelly, another embattled figure in the music industry. He wants to be the one, she claimed, hinting at Jay-Z's alleged desire for dominance or control within the narrative of these high-profile incidents. Meanwhile, according to R. Kelly, powerful figures wanted to silence him when he started talking about Jay-Z's alleged crimes. Kelly has made no secret of his disdain for Jay-Z, and in the past, there have been rumors about Jay-Z's involvement in some very questionable activities, including alleged involvement with young girls, most notably Foxy Brown and Aaliyah.
I'm going to expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of Jay-Z with Aaliyah when she was at age? Y'all forgot about Jay, huh? Remember Foxy Brown and Jay? Ain't no woman like the one I got. No one could love you better.
Interestingly enough, Jay-Z and R. Kelly once collaborated during the early to mid-2000s for 2 albums, The Best of Both Worlds, in 2002 and the 2004 follow-up Unfinished Business. Their partnership, despite promising beginnings, turned sour during a co-headlining tour that quickly descended into chaos. You see, R. Kelly found himself feeling threatened by certain individuals in the crowd. Having already received threats prior to the performance, his anxiety heightened as he observed suspicious behavior among some attendees. unease. The atmosphere grew tense, and R. Kelly's concern for his safety became a pressing issue. Despite his attempts to alert the security personnel, his concerns were unfortunately dismissed with a sense of unease and a lack of support. He took a moment to address the audience, expressing his apologies for having to abruptly depart the stage before making his exit. As if that wasn't enough, he was pepper sprayed by Tyron Ty Smith, a close friend of Jay-Z, on his way back to the stage. This incident marked the beginning of the end for their tumultuous relationship. Meanwhile, the disappointment and frustration were palpable, both for R. Kelly and his fans who were eagerly anticipating the performance. The incident is particularly shocking due to R. Kelly's belief that Jay-Z played a role in the threats against him. He perceived Jay-Z's actions as an attempt to harm him during the tour, although the exact motivations remain unclear. This unexpected turn of events caused a rift between the two artists, with Jay-Z reportedly expressing anger over R. Kelly's sudden departure. In the aftermath of the tour's collapse, legal battles ensued. R. Kelly filed a staggering $75 million lawsuit against his former tourmate, accusing him of breach of contract. This lawsuit not only reflected their deteriorating professional ties, but also hinted at the underlying tensions between the two artists.
I think it's time for us to address the elephant in the room.
R. Kelly was the first corporately sponsored everybody knew.
Once it came out on R. Kelly, Jay-Z fled the scene.
Fans have commented on this, with one particular fan claiming, "Anyone that knows the story of when the world tour went wrong and R. Kelly sued Jay-Z for $75 million and all of a sudden the lady producing Surviving R. Kelly documentary being well connected to Jay-Z, it wouldn't surprise me if there's some truth to this story. Not saying R. Kelly is innocent or a saint himself, but Jay-Z is known for trying to destroy other artists' careers, especially those he saw as a competitive threat, whether they're rappers or R&B singers. And believe me, R. Kelly was way bigger back then than R. Kelly in terms of popularity and impact. R. Kelly is still bigger in terms of impact even till today, but not so much popularity anymore because his crazy shit he's been doing." A second fan gave their perspective on the Best of Both World tour, saying, "I believe that Jay-Z was jealous of RK. I went to that Best of Both Worlds tour in Cleveland, Ohio that year, and Jay-Z came out on stage and did all right, but Jay-Z was trash talking about can't nobody rap like him, he the best, he this, he that, until Kells came back out on stage with no music and gave the longest ass rap I ever heard without stopping, inhaling, coughing, or anything, and the whole entire building stood up and clapped. I remember that standing ovation being so loud, I felt that vibration all in my chest. Jay-Z didn't come back out after that. Kells closed the show. I think both guys had egos, but I believe Jay-Z did feel some type of way because Kells was getting the most attention on tour. Critics have suggested that Jay-Z distanced himself from R. Kelly not just for professional reasons, but also to avoid being tainted by association as R. Kelly's legal troubles mounted. While R. Kelly faced a firestorm of allegations, Jay-Z emerged relatively unscathed. Was this a calculated move to ensure his own reputation remained intact? But it wasn't just a falling out. Some speculate that Jay-Z played a role in ensuring R. Kelly's downfall to keep any potential dirt from spilling onto his own name. This brings us to Gayle King's infamous sit-down with R. Kelly. In 2019, King interviewed the disgraced singer, capturing his emotional outburst that became meme-worthy overnight, as King pressed him about allegations that he held women against their will. Kelly grew more exasperated and shrill, telling her that it would be stupid and that the women were lying.
I have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive.
Kelly then turned directly to the camera to mount his defense.
That's stupid! Use your common sense.
He then added, "How stupid would it be for me, with my crazy past and what I've been through? Oh, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will. Chain them up in my basement and don't let them eat, don't let them out, unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle." Kelly was upset with the power of social media and that people were drilling into his past, particularly his 2002 Child P case for which he stood trial and was acquitted in 2008. Speaking to that point, he said, "You can't double jeopardy me like that. Stop it. You don't quit playing. Quit playing. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life," he shouted before standing up. "Y'all king me with this." I gave you 30 years of my career. 30 years of my career. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it. But why did King choose R. Kelly, and why then? King's ties to Jay-Z complicate this picture. They've shared many candid conversations and interviews, and their friendship dates back years. Critics have pointed out that while King has gone hard on figures like R. Kelly, she's notably softer when interviewing Jay-Z and others in his circle.
You know, you have days where you really love your job. This is one of those days for me. Why? Because Jay-Z gave us a personal tour of the exhibit, and then he sat down for a very rare interview.
Could this be a deliberate effort to shape the public's perception?
If you had a choice between getting paid $500,000 in cash or lunch with Jay-Z,
Yeah.
which would you choose?
You gotta take the money. What I'm gonna say?
The overlap in their connections raises eyebrows. Did Gayle King's interview with R. Kelly serve a greater purpose? Perhaps even as part of a larger plan orchestrated by Jay-Z? While R. Kelly's crimes are well documented, Jay-Z hasn't been without his controversies. Allegations about his relationships with younger women have swirled for years, though they've never been substantiated. Still, whispers persist that he engaged in behavior not so different from R. Kelly's. You see, while Kelly's crimes were exposed, other names in the industry also came under scrutiny. Damon Dash, co-founder of Rockefeller Records and R&B artist Aaliyah's partner before her tragic death, has openly criticized his former business partner, Jay-Z, for working with Kelly. During an interview on the That's Effed Up podcast, Dash expressed frustration over Jay-Z's decision to collaborate with Kelly despite the allegations. Reflecting on Kelly's conviction, Dash said, "I think he's where he belongs," hinting that he had first-hand knowledge of how Kelly hurt Aaliyah.
Yeah, I think he's where he belongs. I mean, I know Aaliyah, so I know what he did. I can't be objective about that.
When asked if he ever confronted R. Kelly about how he treated Aaliyah, Damon Dash shared that Aaliyah herself had begged him to leave it alone completely. Even when they appeared in the same music video, she made sure there would be no confrontations or shared scenes with R. Kelly. But let's get into the tea. Damon was seriously uncomfortable when Jay-Z decided to collaborate with R. Kelly on The Best of Both Worlds. Imagine knowing the truth about R. Kelly and still moving forward with a whole album. Damon didn't want any part of it, saying, "I'm not there as an executive producer. Just don't put my name on that. I don't want no money from that. If it is, put it towards the Aaliyah Foundation." Now, what most people might be unaware of was that Jay-Z and R. Kelly both had a liking to Aaliyah, and this probably caused some tension between them, particularly during the Best of Both Worlds tour. In any case, R. Kelly has been vocal about wanting to bring Jay-Z down, and according to Kelly, the system tried to silence him before he could say too much. R. Kelly has long claimed that he was the target of an assassination attempt while in prison. According to reports, Kelly was attacked by a fellow inmate and member of the Latin Kings gang who allegedly acted on orders from higher-ups within the system. Jeremiah Farmer is a 39-year-old member of the notorious Latin Kings gang who was convicted not only for de-racketeering, but also for the brutal eliminations of two businessmen back in 1999. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. It all began with Farmer's involvement in a racketeering conspiracy dating back to 1999, as revealed by federal prosecutors. This conspiracy wasn't just about making money. It involved a string of heinous acts ranging from attempted elimination to aggravated assault, ST trafficking, and substance distribution. These weren't just run-of-the-mill crimes. They were heinous acts that included the brutal elimination of Marion Lowry and Harvey Seegers, owners of Calumet Auto Rebuilders, two businessmen who fell victim to Farmer's merciless agenda. The details are chilling. They were beaten to death with a hammer at their own place of business in Hammond. Farmer's actions really terrorized communities, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. As the FBI's special agent in charge, Paul Keenan aptly put it, Farmer terrorized the community with his violent actions. But his sentencing wasn't just about locking up a dangerous criminal. It was about sending a message that such behavior would not be tolerated. Fast forward to July 2019, and Farmer found himself facing the consequences of his crimes. Alongside 42 other gang members Siki convicted of racketeering, conspiracy, and drug charges, he was sentenced to life in prison. But even behind bars, his story took a bizarre turn. So a jail cell in downtown Chicago, R. Kelly, awaiting trial on his own charges of SA, found himself the target of Farmer's fury. In a handwritten filing to the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, Farmer made a startling admission. He attacked none other than the R&B singer R. Kelly while they were both incarcerated. According to Farmer, he was compelled to carry out this assault as a desperate plea for attention to shed light on what he claimed was government corruption in his own case, painting himself as a whistleblower fighting against injustice.
Farmer, in jail for racketeering conspiracy, lays it all out in this appeal to the 7th Circuit.
This shocking revelation thrust Farmer into the spotlight once again, but it also raised questions about the circumstances surrounding the attack on Kelly. Farmer's claims painted a picture of frustration and desperation. He supposedly resorted to violence as a last resort, hoping to draw attention to his own legal plight. Locked down amidst the chaos of the pandemic, denied access to legal resources, and feeling abandoned by his defense team, Farmer saw Kelly as a means to an end, alleging that he had been failed by the very system meant to deliver justice. The details of the attack are chilling. Kelly, asleep in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in downtown Chicago, was caught off guard when Farmer launched his assault. According to reports, Farmer punched Kelly repeatedly before being stopped by a prison employee who used pepper spray to intervene. Farmer also allegedly had an ink pen with him that he was going to use to stab Mr. Kelly. The incident left Kelly battered and bruised, while Farmer was swiftly transferred to another prison, his moment in the spotlight dimming as quickly as it had flared. But the fallout didn't end there. Kelly's legal team sought answers, hoping to question Farmer about the attack. However, their efforts were thwarted by a federal judge who denied their request, ruling that the assault wasn't reason enough to grant Kelly bail. Anyway, in the wake of his sentencing to 30 years in prison for S-tifficking and racketeering, the disgraced singer recently filed an appeal in his New York federal S-crimes case. Documents obtained by TMZ revealed that the 56-year-old artist had put forth multiple arguments in his bid to overturn his conviction, ranging from assertions of a potentially biased jury to claims of being misled about the ages of the young people he had relationships with. The appeal, filed by his attorney Jennifer Bonjean, sought to have the convictions reversed or to secure a new trial. Kelly's legal team contended that the government had failed to meet its burden of proof during the trial, despite the jury finding him guilty on all counts following nearly 6 weeks of proceedings. A key point in Kelly's appeal was the allegation that at least 2 jurors had watched Surviving R. Kelly, a documentary released in 2019 which featured accounts from his accusers. His lawyers argued that this documentary, funded by Jay-Z and allegedly provided to the jurors, could have biased their judgment, especially given Kelly's legal history with Jay-Z. Moreover, Kelly disputed the ages of the girls involved, claiming that some were at least 18 years old when their interactions with him began. His legal team asserted that in cases where the girls were minors, Kelly had been misled about their ages. Kelly's defense also contested the admissibility of certain evidence presented during the trial, arguing that irrelevant details about his personal life unfairly influenced the jury. They maintained that discussions about his history, preferences, and past relationships were prejudicial and unrelated to the charges he faced. Additionally, Kelly raised objections to the testimony provided by his former associates, alleging that they had misrepresented facts and testified on matters beyond their knowledge. In any case, despite the speculation, one thing is clear. The story is far from over. With new footage and interviews continually surfacing, the public's appetite for answers remains insatiable. All in all, the connections between Jay-Z, Gayle King, and R. Kelly paint a picture of power, influence, and manipulation in the music industry. Whether or not these allegations hold any truth, they highlight the complex and often murky dynamics behind the scenes. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.